right, welcome everyone to our Tuesday tips. So today we are continuing to talk about our oils that begin with C, and I'm live in 3 different places, live in 2 Facebook groups and live on Instagram, which I'm very excited about. So let's get started here. There we go. Make sure I'm good to go in all my different areas. There, yay. Okay, so talking about our 3 next oils that begin with C. So today it's going to be cilantro, Copaiba or Copaiba, which some people pronounce it that way, and coriander. So these are 3 powerhouses, okay, and there's 3 that we actually, well, we talk about Copaiba a lot lately, right? There's a lot, that's kind of a buzzword these days. There's a lot of information because doTERRA just came out with Copaiba. It's in September at convention. So we know a lot about that one, and we've been talking about it quite a bit lately. But we don't talk a lot about cilantro. We had a BOGO a few weeks ago, and we talked a little bit about it then. But it is definitely an unsung hero. I have learned so much about that oil, and I'm super excited to teach you just a little bit about it. And of course, coriander. That's also not one that we often would just pick up and use just any old time. So let's talk about cilantro. I have it here. We know that cilantro, we use it in our cooking. It's fantastic. It's a great herb. I use it quite often. So I put it in salads, all those things, but actually my cilantro goes bad in the fridge all the time. I just can't keep up with the amount that I buy of it with the amount of recipes that I use for it. So I love having this oil because that means that this herb is always at my fingertips. So this is much more supercharged than it would be in the herb form, okay? So you only need a little bit of this in a recipe. Don't ruin your recipe and have it like be overly cilantro-y, because that would be no fun. But you can use just a little bit. I would start out with a toothpick. I love putting it in guacamole. Fantastic. Put like a drop in your guacamole, maybe with some lime oil. Fantastic. I do like a cilantro lime rice, a brown rice with cilantro and lime in there as well. That's delicious. I've put it in soups before, where I will put a drop or 2 in the soup, and any kind of cilantro chicken lime soup, cilantro lemon. What other things? Really any recipe that will call for the herb, you can use the oil in it. It's great. But there's some other even more fantastic things that cilantro can really help us with. Angela Villa, who is a Blue Diamond in doTERRA, she did a Facebook Live a few weeks ago, and it was amazing. She talked about cilantro, and she has an amazing weight loss story. She has been able to lose immense amounts of weight, and the oils have really been part of her success. Okay, so she talked about cilantro, and she talked about how cilantro actually, when you take it internally, she likes to put it in a capsule because she doesn't like the taste of it, but she absolutely loves what it can do for her body. But what it does is it promotes lipolysis, which is it promotes the body's ability to release the fat out of the body. So it helps get the fat out, right? Who doesn't want that? And what it does is it promotes that process to happen even faster in the body than it would normally with a weight loss plan or with other things that you'd be using to help to drop weight. So it promotes a faster whoosh effect. And the way that she described this is, I watched this again last night because I wanted to get it correct, but she said a whoosh effect, imagine a water balloon, like that's your fat cell, right? And all that, it's all full of water. And a whoosh effect is when all the water is put out. It's like the water balloon gets smashed up against a brick or something, and it splatters, and and it all just goes away. That is the whoosh effect, and that's what happens when you start to lose fat. And so the cilantro oil really helps you to do that. Now, what happens with the whoosh effect is that fluid, right, have to go somewhere, so you would probably urinate more and just go to the bathroom a whole lot that day, right? That whoosh effect is happening. So this can really help. It really helped her. I actually experienced this myself a little bit. I was actually not intentionally trying to lose any weight. I did the doTERRA cleanse a few months ago at the beginning of the year, and in the Zendocrine soft gel that I was taking, cilantro oil is in that. And so I was taking it, and I just started dropping. I dropped a few pounds, totally unintentional. I was eating normally the way that I would normally eat, doing all the things I normally do, and I wasn't expecting that, but I felt phenomenal. And so I thought that that was a really interesting fact about cilantro. Other things that cilantro can help. It's great for heavy metal detox. So you can use it in a capsule. It's really, really beneficial for the body. If you know that you've been exposed to some heavy metals, maybe you have a lot of times when people get reactions from vaccinations or different things like that, they use cilantro oil to just help the body process through that, because everybody responds differently. It's really good for digestion, and this can be just applied over the abdomen for, bloating, gas, different things like that that you could have going on with your stomach. It's also very helpful dealing with allergies, right? So oftentimes we do lemon, lavender, and peppermint for allergies, but you can actually add cilantro to that as well, and it's really, really helpful. You can apply it on the feet, and it also really helps with the liver. Helps to boost the liver, helps to cleanse it. Those are all very, very helpful things. Helps also to support the kidneys. To be able to support the liver and the kidneys, you want to be able to take it internally in a capsule, and that's what I was using it for when I was taking the Zendocrine as part of my cleanse, right? I'm helping to cleanse and support my liver and kidneys. It is great for boosting an immune system as well. Like I said, it's good for cooking and body odor. When combined with peppermint, actually in a capsule, you take this internally, can really help with body odor, which is really, don't we all know somebody that deals with that? Now we can say, hey, I really would encourage you to use some cilantro and peppermint in this capsule for some reason, right? It's really good for anxiety, just for smelling. It's very fresh smelling. Some people absolutely abhor cilantro, and that is okay. You can still use it, put it in a capsule. It's really good for you. So what's really interesting also about this oil is the emotional side. And I'm going to grab my emotions book. It is the oil of releasing control. And Angelivia did a beautiful job in her Facebook Live talking about, she has this amazing weight loss story. And a lot of times when you're trying to lose immense amounts of weight, there's a mindset there, right? There's an emotional tie, there's an emotional something happening in your body that's hindering you from really stepping forward into healing and stepping forward into maybe the actions that would lead you to lose immense amounts of weight. So that is really funny that cilantro is the oil of releasing that control because of what it does in our bodies, right? It helps to release the fat. It's helping us to release the control. And that is really, really beneficial. Our physical things in our bodies are all related to an emotion on the emotional side of our body. Always, always, always. And I see this when I have worked with people that have been diagnosed with cancer. And they're told, you have just a little few weeks, a year to live. And people, that either makes them crash and lose all hope, or it helps them to live life more to the fullest. And so that is something that you see. The people that crash and burn emotionally are the people that really struggle through their cancer. The people that live life to the fullest are the people that soar, right? That take the treatments that they need to take, but their mindset is different. So anything that we're dealing with in a physical sense, we can also look at it in an emotional sense because there's also a tie there. Okay, so cilantro, the oil of releasing control. Cilantro facilitates a detoxification of negative emotions and debris. It is helpful in lightening one's load through the release of issues buried in the body, the heart, and the soul. That's so cool. Similar to coriander, which we'll talk about, which is distilled from the seeds of the same plant, cilantro assists individuals in shedding what is not in harmony with their true self. All of this talk about shedding and releasing things buried in the body, great metaphors for what it can do for us in a physical sense as well. Those in need of cilantro may attempt to obsessively control other people or manage their environment. Inwardly, these individuals may experience a great deal of worry and mental strain. They may become constricted, clinging to or obsessing over material possessions. Individuals may even hold on to the very patterns, emotions, issues, and possessions that may impair or betray their true self. So cilantro facilitates emotional cleansing and especially encourages the release of worry and control as it assists individuals in centering in their true self. Cilantro liberates the soul from heavy burdens, enabling the individual to live light and free. So that is pretty powerful on the emotional side, I think, for a lot of people, especially those dealing with, weight issues, because that is definitely something that can be so tied to your emotional state. So that is cilantro. Next up, we have Copaiba. I'm going to switch over that. So Copaiba is a new oil, just came out in September. It is very light in scent. It's very light, and even in the taste. I drop a Copaiba under my tongue twice a day. I do it in the morning when I get up, and I do Hey Amanda, and I do it in the evening before I go to bed. And it's just absolutely wonderful for supporting a proper inflammatory response in the body. I do this with frankincense. Now, frankincense has a, the taste is, it's an acquired taste, let's just say. And I've had to get used to taking frankincense under my tongue because of that. It doesn't taste bad, it's just different. But Copaiba, I can barely even taste it. So I'll do the frankincense first and then the Copaiba second, and it kind of just takes care of that frankincense that I'm not really that fond of, right? So many things with this. Copaiba, oftentimes people compare it to CBD oil. And really, they're very different, actually. There's some similarities, but they do very different things. But what happens with Copaiba is that it actually interacts with your processes in the body, the receptors, right? The CB1 receptors, and you have CB2 receptors. And this interacts with one of those, and it really helps with pain, helping with the inflammation in the body, things like that. So any kind of pain that you're dealing with. I've put this on David's feet. He has kind of chronically achy feet, and so he has to use those and massage this on the bottoms of his feet. Also, taking it internally is an excellent way to help with pain management. It's great for liver issues, toxicity issues in the body, helping to cleanse. That's one of the reasons that I take it, because I think that that's so important. We come in contact with so many toxins every single day. Walking out of our house, cleaning products that we come in contact with. Those are things that we have to be really vigilant about. And so Copaiba can really help us there, keeping our liver and all of those things cleansed. Also really good for respiratory issues, maybe a little bit of a sore throat, and you can just diffuse. You can apply it right to the chest. Put a drop in your hand, cup, and inhale is an excellent thing to do. It's actually, I didn't know this before, but it can be very beneficial for bedwetting. So if you have an older child or a toddler that you're trying to potty train, you can apply this right on the abdomen, and that can be very helpful for that issue, right? It's good for digestive issues. If you're having digestive issues, I am one that I'm always working on my digestive issues, right? Gut health is so important, and it's a weakness in my body. And so that's another reason why this oil is so important to me and valuable to me, especially with people that really deal with issues in conjunction with their gut. Maybe they're dealing with lots of inflammation. Maybe we've got leaky gut happening. Many things happening in the body, systems that are out of whack. Copaiba can really be helpful, and I encourage you to look into using that oil for those kinds of things. It is very good for immune support. Okay, so we're using it with frankincense. This would be a great one to use with your On Guard. Different things to really boost the immune system, absolutely. It is wonderful for skin. So, we use it a lot with frankincense because they work so well together. We also use this, Dr. Hill really recommended using frankincense, copaiba, and Siberian fir together, which is wonderful for the body, for the immune system, for the cells, all of those things. But it's really great to put this on any rashes, even for acne on the skin would be really helpful. To use this just right in your moisturizer. I usually just do a little dot of moisturizer or coconut oil, put 1 drop of copaiba, rub your hands together, and then you can apply it to your face. It's good for hair as well. You can put it in your shampoo for your scalp. After your hair is blow dried, you can put a drop of copaiba in your hands and smooth it through your hair. I usually use rose oil or sandalwood for that, but you can also use copaiba as well, because it's good for dry skin and hair, so it's very nourishing for that kind of thing. It is good for helping with supporting the healing process if you have a wound, right? So it helps, again, we're talking about it supporting the skin. If there's a wound there, then it can be very supportive in helping the body in its normal healing process, right? Just kind of help speed things up. Wonderful for if you're dealing with a headache. When we were in leadership last week, I was dealing with some, in fact, many of us were, we kept complaining because the allergies were so horrible over there that we kept getting headaches. And so what we do is you take your copaiba, we do this with frankincense too, you can apply it to the temples, but you can put a drop on your thumb, just like that, and then press your thumb up to the roof of your mouth. We do that with frankincense as well, and that can be really helpful in helping just to relieve tension in your head. Okay, really, really good. It's good for helping to balance out blood pressure, okay? If you have blood pressure issues, just helps to, oils are always bringing the body to homeostasis, so bringing everything into balance is an important thing to do. Good for anxiety and sleep. Blisters, bug bites, excellent for burns. If you have some bruising, things like that, that would be things you would use when you would apply it topically to the body. Now, the emotional side of copaiba, let's get there in my handy book. So copaiba is the oil of unveiling, okay? Copaiba invites individuals to connect with their past. It offers a deep intertwining energy that links experience to unveil the deeper meaning and messages showing up in one's life. Copaiba respects the sacred shelter within until it is ready to emerge into the light of consciousness. It then invites individuals to become thoughtfully aware of the shadow aspects of themselves and discover who they really are. So unveiling, right? Copaiba invites those who have done something that causes guilt or shame to undergo appropriate remorse and then move on, remembering that forgiveness of the self is also necessary. If not dealt with, these lowest vibrational emotions will drive an individual to rebel or overcompensate. Both are a product of running from their center of truth and existence. Acknowledging the reality of past choices and experiences allows individuals to grow and change in more conscious and clear ways. So that is beautiful. Copaiba. Negative emotions that it deals with, there's shame, guilt, regret, self-loathing, less than, unworthy, suppressed emotions, and rebelling. And what it helps you feel more of is you feel more worthy, self-aware, you have more clarity, you feel forgiven, you have a redefinition of yourself, and you have a purposeful existence. So that is a really beautiful oil. It can be used in so many different ways. All right, coriander. Coriander, gosh, I feel bad that I don't use this enough because it really is, actually has a really lovely scent as well. It's very light. Coriander is great for digestive issues, feelings of nausea, gas, things like that. Massage it on the abdomen. You can even put a glass in your water, or put a glass of in your water, a drop and a glass of water, and drink that down. It is also very good at helping to support proper levels of your blood sugar, okay? So I actually have a hard time with my blood sugar. If I don't eat something for a long period of time, I will faint. I really have a hard time with that. And so this can really help to bring that in, as well as making sure that I don't go too long without eating something, right? It is used very well with cinnamon for that reason. You can take it internally in a capsule with your meals. It really helps with that whole process with your blood sugar. It's great for itchy skin and rashes, just applying it right topically. There was a time when with the oils you can do like a Zytoscan or an Itovi scan, and that is a great thing to do because what it does is it helps give you an idea of what oils your body's needing right then, right? So it just scans the levels in your body and spits out a recommendation of the oil that you need. And I actually scanned many years ago for coriander, and I didn't know why, and I was actually having some breakouts on my face. And so I started using it on my face, and it did a beautiful job of just cleansing some impurities that I had on my skin. Okay, it's also great to help with joint pain. So if you're having any kind of joint pain anywhere, you can just massage that in topically, just for some soothing relief. Very helpful there. Anytime that you are needing more circulation in your feet and legs, this would be a good one to massage in, maybe even take in a capsule to help with that. And this also helps if you don't, this is funny, but this also helps if you don't have an appetite. It helps to kind of stimulate appetite. I know some people wouldn't want to know that, but for some people that can be really, a good thing. So you can take it in a capsule, even inhaling it and cupping it would be great. So also coriander, remember, so coriander is related to cilantro, as I read before, right? They're from the same plant, but just distilled from different places, from the seed and the leaf. So it's also good for body odor. So you can take this in a capsule as well for that. Great for low energy, nervous exhaustion, and the emotional side of coriander is the oil of integrity. So coriander is the oil of integrity, specifically integrity with oneself. The person in need of coriander oil may be trapped in a cycle of serving others while neglecting their own needs. Well, I might have scanned for it too because of the emotional side, because I was a new mom at the time. And oftentimes that happens with us new moms, right? We forget to take care of ourselves. Self-care goes way down, okay? They may also have a strong desire to do what is right or correct. Ooh, that's also me. Ooh. Often the mind's perspective of the right way is too limited and when seen from only one perspective. Coriander reminds individuals that there is more than one way to do something, and that fitting in often requires betraying the true self. Coriander moves the individual from doing things for the acceptance of others to honor and living from the true self. There are as many ways of being as there are people in the world. Ooh, that's good. Each soul must learn its own way of living and being. Coriander gives courage to step out of the box and risk being who one really is. Don't we all need a little bit of that, right? To step out and be who really God created us to be? Coriander teaches that each individual is a gift to the world with something unique, which no one else has to offer. Only they can express their uniqueness. Integrity with oneself means living in connection with what one's spirit urges and directs. Coriander helps individuals live from the true self. Oh, I love this oil now. That is fantastic. Everyone, go get your coriander. Put it in the diffuser, put it on topically. Enjoy what it can do for you physically and emotionally. So those are the 3 oils that begin with C that we're going to cover today. Next Tuesday, we have some more oils, and we'll also dive into some of the blends that I'm really excited to talk about. I hope this information was helpful for you. And if you'd like to share the information with someone, please do it and share away on Facebook and tag your friends. Okay, so I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday and you're enjoying this great spring we're having. All right,